How about the one 2 weeks ago? A woman, I'm saying, who the hell is she? Who is the woman? It's so unfair what's happening in our country. Our court system is a mess. What's happening in our country, they have to straighten it out.
So the $83.3 million defamation verdict against Donald Trump was less than 30 days ago. It was handed down on January 26th of 2024, and Donald Trump could not make it 30 days, and then he had to once again defame E. Jean Carroll. That clip I just shared with you was from Saturday evening in a speech that Donald Trump gave in Michigan. He was previously in Philadelphia that day, earlier in the morning, where he was booed at SneakerCon. Let me just show you this clip of Trump getting booed first.
Wow, a lot of emotion. There's a lot of emotion in this room. Thank you. So the really nice thing is we have lines, and I want to thank Chase and I want to thank Alan, but we have lines going all around the block. They're going all around this block. They've never seen anything like this one.
Oh, good. That's what
I just want to tell you, I've wanted to do this for a long time. I have some incredible people that work with me.
Okay, going back to Donald Trump at Michigan, further defaming E. Jean Carroll. And, one of the things we've talked about here a lot on the MeidasTouch Network is during the E. Jean Carroll trial itself, Donald Trump continued to defame his rape victim over and over again, posting in the courtroom dozens of posts about E. Jean Carroll. And as Donald Trump would make those posts, E. Jean Carroll's lawyer, Roberta Kaplan, would show the jury, look, this is someone who's unable to control himself. So that is why you're going to need to give punitive damages here to make him stop. But Donald Trump is incapable of stopping the continuous and systematic harassment and defamation of his sexual assault victim. Let me just share this with you. This was what Donald Trump said just a few days before the E. Jean Carroll defamation trial started in late January, where Donald Trump was leaving other proceedings in January in the New York Attorney General civil fraud case, where he gave a press conference and then just started defaming E. Jean Carroll. Remember this? Play this clip.
Tuesday, are you going to be back in court for the E. Jean Carroll case on Wednesday?
Yeah, well, that's another one. That's sponsored by Reid Hoffman and some Democrat operatives. I never saw this woman in my life other than to have a picture with her and her husband, John Johnson, a nice guy who was a newscaster many years ago. I remember him, and she said horrible things about him since. I mean, horrible, horrible things, called him bad names. I have no idea who this woman is. I have absolutely no idea. The whole thing is ridiculous that this is even a case. This should never have happened. But again, this is sponsored by the Democrats. That's another case, all sponsored by, it's a demeaning kind of a thing, and that's what they want to do. It's called election interference. And yeah, I'm going to go to it, and I'm going to explain. I don't know who the hell she is. I have no idea. They called me up years ago, and they said, do you know about this woman 25 or 30 years ago? She doesn't even know the date, the time, the month, the season. She has no idea. And if you read it, if you watch, take a look at the Anderson Cooper interview of her. And if you take a look at that, Trump is so innocent, but we have been given a very unfair trial there too. I don't get very fair trials in New York.
And look, there are dozens of other clips that I could show you, or perhaps hundreds, if not thousands, probably closer to thousands of clips of Donald Trump harassing E. Jean Carroll, whether it was online or in speeches like that. And also, did you notice in the Michigan speech, the first one I showed you, Donald Trump was wearing gloves, which is notable because if you remember in connection with the E. Jean Carroll case, right around that time he had those, weird kind of blisters or lesions on his hands that he blamed on AI, the same way he posts and blames the fact that he looks big in photographs, because he is. He blames that on AI. That's his new thing. Everything AI, this, that. Donald Trump's going to get sued again by E. Jean Carroll. I want to be very clear about that. And E. Jean Carroll's lawyer, Roberta Kaplan, basically said that all options are on the table after the second E. Jean Carroll trial concluded and she was awarded $83.3 million. This is what Roberta Kaplan said when she was interviewed first by herself. Here, play this clip.
If he continues
to defame her. Will there be more? I mean, is it potential there's another case?
I'm too good of a lawyer to tell you that, but everything's on the table.
Now let me show you this clip right here where Roberta Kaplan, E. Jean Carroll's lawyer, was interviewed with E. Jean Carroll. And E. Jean Carroll, during this interview, was asked, would she be willing to file another lawsuit against Donald Trump if her lawyer told her that there was another case to be brought? And watch what E. Jean Carroll said here. Here, play the clip.
E. Jean, in terms of the what you've just been through, I mean, to hear a lawyer as experienced as Ravi Kaplan say it was nerve-wracking to be in that room sometimes because of the way this was conducted. I have to ask you, President Trump has kept your name out of his mouth since being told he has to pay $83 million to you for what he's done in the past. But over the weekend, he did start posting links online to articles that attacked you and denied your claims. Again, he seems to be pushing it already in terms of whether or not he is going to go back to calling you a liar and denying that he did what he did. If it came to it, if your lawyers told you that there was another case and that you should go back and get more money out of him and sue him again, would you do it?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hey, Midas Mighty. So a little while ago, we had the idea that we wanted to sell the best pro-democracy merchandise in the game for the MeidasTouch network. And candidly, we had no idea where to even get started. That's why I'm so glad that we found Shopify. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business, from the launch your online shop stage to the first real life store stage, all the way to the did we just hit a million order stage. Shopify's there to help you grow. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell everywhere, from their all-in-one e-commerce platform to their in-person POS system. Wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout, 36% better on average compared to other leading commerce platforms, and sell more with less effort thanks to Shopify Magic, your AI-powered all-star. We use Shopify at store.meidastouch.com, and it has completely revolutionized our business. It allows us to easily manage our shop, view analytics, provide the best customer service, and streamline our entire online shopping experience from A to Z. We wouldn't be able to bring you all the products you know and love without Shopify, and we can't speak highly enough about it. Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the US, and Shopify is the global force behind Allbirds and Rothy's and Brooklinen and millions of other entrepreneurs of every size across 175 countries. Plus, Shopify's award-winning help is there to support your success every step of the way, like they were there for us here on the MeidasTouch network. Because businesses that grow with Shopify, and we can attest to that. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Midas. All lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Midas to take your business to the next level today. Shopify.com/Midas. Should be noted too that, when Donald Trump makes these defamatory remarks, and this was a major part of the E. Jean Carroll defamation trial where she was awarded the $83.3 million, the whole kind of MAGA world starts harassing E. Jean Carroll. I'll just give you a few examples. Like, this is one of the big MAGA podcasters, Tim Pool, who unfortunately has a fairly large kind of MAGA audience. Here's what he said about E. Jean Carroll on January 26, right around when the $83.3 million verdict was reached. And he said, E. Jean Carroll is a deranged old, and then he uses the C word right there. I mean, that's how they talk about women. That's how they talk about people in the MAGA world. By the way, here is Rudy Giuliani after the verdict in the first E. Jean Carroll case. Giuliani was hit with a defamation verdict for defaming Ruby Freeman of Shane Moss of nearly $150 million. And here Giuliani goes on right-wing media after the verdict, and basically the argument that he's trying to make is that Trump sexually assaulted E. Jean Carroll and didn't rape her, and that's what that's Giuliani's argument here. Here, play this clip.
Well, the judge is a disgrace to the greatest court in America. It's called the Mother Court, the United States District Court for the Southern District of New York. It's had some of the greatest judges in American history. This judge is a pure disgrace. He's telling a lawyer what questions to ask. That's totally ridiculous. He won't let him defend himself. And how is it inconsistent? Let's say he was. First of all, he was found not guilty or not liable for rape. It was sexual assault, not rape. And second, you can be guilty of rape, and still a person can be a wacko.
Yeah.
That was a defamation. You're allowed to still defend yourself against defamation.
You know, and as I always like to show you here on the MeidasTouch Network, I don't just like to give you, I like to share with you the facts, but I don't want to give you my opinion. Oh, you feel this way, you feel that way. I always want to share with you, like, what is it that the jury saw? Like, I'm sure you've seen in my coverage of the New York Attorney General civil fraud judgment by Arthur and Goron, I've gone painstakingly through the depositions of Eric and Don Jr. and Donald Trump and Weisselberg and Ivanka to show you here's what they're saying. Here's what they said in the trial. Let's do the same thing here, because as Donald Trump continues to defame E. Jean Carroll like he did on Saturday night in Michigan, let's take a look at what the jury got to see when they found that Donald Trump was liable for sexual assault. Here, Donald Trump is shown the Access Hollywood tape where he brags on the tape about sexually assaulting women. Here, play the clip.
And you say, and again, this has become very famous in this video, I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet, just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Grab them by the pussy. You can do anything. That's what you said, correct?
Well, historically, that's true with stars.
It's true with stars that they can grab women by the pussy?
Well, that's what it's. If you look over the last million years, I guess that's been largely true. Not always, but largely true. Unfortunately or fortunately.
And you consider yourself to be a star?
I think you can say that, yeah.
Okay. And here is the other portion of a deposition that Donald Trump gave in the E. Jean Carroll case, where he thought that a photograph of E. Jean Carroll was his wife, Marla Maples, and he said, oh, that's Marla, and it was E. Jean Carroll. And one of the disgusting defenses that Donald Trump tried to raise during the trial is that he couldn't have engaged in the conduct against E. Jean Carroll because he's not attracted to her and she was not his type. That was Donald Trump's, one of the arguments that Trump was making. Also, Alina Habba argued that actually E. Jean Carroll profited from this and she should be happy that Donald Trump did what he did to her because he made her famous and she got what she wanted. So why is she suing? She should be happy. It's actually what Alina Habba argued to the jury. But let me show you this portion of the deposition. Play this clip.
And I'm going to ask you, is this the photo that you were just referring to?
I think so, yes.
Okay. And do you recall when you first saw this photo?
At some point during the process, I saw it. That's, I guess, her husband, John Johnson, who was an anchor for ABC. Nice guy. I thought, I don't know him, but I thought he was pretty good at what he did. I don't even know who the woman, let's see, I don't know who, it's Marla.
You say Marla's in this photo?
That's Marla, yeah. That's my wife.
Which woman are you pointing to? No.
Here.
Carroll.
Oh, is that,
The person you just pointed to was
I
E. Jean
see.
Carroll.
Who is that? Who is this?
Point, your wife. And the woman on the right is your then wife,
I don't know.
Ivana?
This was the picture.
Ivana.
I assume that's John Johnson. Is that
That's Carroll.
Carroll? Because it's very blurry.
What years were you married to your first wife, Ivana Trump?
So, about 78 to the early 90s.
Your next wife was a woman by the name of Marla Maples.
Right.
And sitting here today, do you recall what years you were married to Ms. Maples?
I'd have to get the exact dates for you. I can do that very easily.
And then going back to the Michigan speech that Donald Trump gave, I mean, here he is also, this is from the speech from Saturday night, from over the weekend. Here he is whining about the gag order that was imposed on him as well. Got a gag order imposed in the New York Attorney General civil fraud case after attacking Judge Arthur Engoron's law clerk and saying that she was Chuck Schumer's girlfriend. He also had a gag order imposed on him in Washington, D.C. for his threats, and both those gag orders were upheld by the respective courts of appeals in New York State Court, the Appellate District, in the Washington, D.C. federal court system, the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals. But here's Trump whining about the gag order.
The appraisers say that. That's not me saying it. The biggest broker in Florida said it. Wait till you hear about the unconstitutional gag order. That's going to be great. The this judge, he gagged. He doesn't want me to talk. You're not allowed to talk. Because when you hear me talk, you'll say, oh, wow, this is a corrupt system.
Finally, here's what E. Jean Carroll had to say about just what her observations were about Donald Trump during the trial. Here, play the clip.
Who, by the way, Rachel, is not even there. He's nothing. He is like a walrus snorting and like a rhino flopping his hand. He is not there. That was the surprising thing to me.
Yeah, you heard what she said there. She said he's nothing. He's like a walrus, snorting. And by the way, that's what he's like in those videos I share with you in the speeches that he gives. It's like watching a snorting walrus with these unhinged, bizarre, weird, just very weird rants. And yes, I understand the things that he's saying. It's very dangerous as well, but he's not even speaking in sentences, really. It's just a bunch of kind of hateful gibberish that's so untethered to any form of leadership at all. It's sad to watch that, because I want there to be a Republican Party with intelligent people, so there could be real serious debates and discussions on issues, and this kind of, as I always say, Maga stands for wannabe fascism plus idiocracy, and fortunately or unfortunately, the idiocracy, I would say fortunately, the idiocracy far exceeds the fascism, and it's bizarre. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hit subscribe. I think we'll kind of count down at this point the days until E. Jean Carroll sues Donald Trump. I would expect it's imminent. We'll see. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 3 million subscribers together, and have a great day.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.